So, on the Facebook page for Ordinary Zen, I posted The Theory of Stupidity by Derek Bonhoeffer, and I highly recommend that you listen to it. It plays right into what I would like to talk about today. Now, on some level, this conversation I want to have with you today is not about duality. It's not stupid versus intelligent. Many stupid people are intelligent. It has nothing to do with intelligence. So, stupidity is a simplistic view of life that does not recognize the complexity of life. It reduces everything to black and white and adheres to whatever an authority says. Again, when a lie is presented to a stupid person over and over and over again, they just accept it as reality. A good example of that today is when Biden won the election over Trump the first time around, and many people refused to believe that it was not stolen. Here we are today. This is our world. We all know what it is. It has nothing to do with facts. Stupid people don't care about the facts. You can argue with them until you're blue in the face. It won't get you anywhere. The rise of Hitler in Germany was not because of evil doers. It was because of ordinary people's stupidity. So I'll give you another example about a teacher that had all the students sit in a circle. I don't know whether this was high school or early college. I don't know. But they sat in a circle and they put a table in the center of the room with a fish bowl on it. And he says, if anybody in this room moves or says anything, they flunk this class. He reaches into the bowl, takes out the fish, and dumps it on the table and leaves. And everybody sits there. Fish is flopping around, definitely going to die. What do? They just sit there, sit there, sit there. And then one person gets up and says, "This is fucking ridiculous," and puts the fish back in the bowl. That's the world we live in today. One person saw the reality of the situation and fixed it. Everybody else went along with what the teacher told them to do. When a person is thinking for themselves, we call it critical thinking. Zen, going all the way back to Buddha's enlightenment, is all about that. But in our modern world, critical thinking is very important. The Rinzai tradition, when they give you a koan, what does the koan do? So, what is solving a koan? It's giving up your, originally, first of all, it's giving up your stupidity for critical thinking. And then the critical thinking breaks through to awakened mind. Critical thinking is not awakened mind. There are plenty of people who think for themselves critically and contribute a lot from that place. But that doesn't mean that they're awakened, you see. Also in Zen, we call it don't know mind, or beginner's mind, or asking the great question, what is this? That's what we do here. That's why Zen is so important. That's why what we do, it's not about adopting Buddhism. It's not about adopting some ideology or philosophy. That's stupidity. We're not asking you to all wear the same robes and the same color. We're asking you to wake the fuck up. See it for what it is. You know, so many people think they're doing right. I mean, a stupid person will think they're right. A self reflective person, critical thinking person will say, I don't know if I'm right. This is what I think in this moment, but I could be wrong. So that's what we're up against, you see, stupidity. From the point of view of the three poisons that Buddha taught, ignorance, greed, and anger, I'm going to change the first one from ignorance because ignorance implies you just don't know what the reality is. But stupidity implies you refuse to see what the reality is. That's the real poison. And it's a very destructive force that authoritarian regimes use against societies. That's what that fishbowl story is about. Don't buy it. So I feel like as soon as you have an authority sitting here, it becomes another way to promote your stupidity. So in the room with the Zen master, who was sitting there all high and mighty in his robes and his stick, and you come in to answer the koan practice. If you give in to that stupidity, you're never going to solve the problem. You have to meet them face to face, eye to eye, right there in the moment, both equality at the level of justice, just now, here it is. Reality, not some belief that you've projected. So, this story, this ancient story of fighting stupidity, you could say it's what Buddha was all about. That's it. And here we are today. And the thing about only one person standing up, I mean, think about it. How popular is that? Right? If I wanted to be popular, I'd have to like dress this up quite a bit. But I think we have a message. I think it's an important message. I think that Zen can contribute a lot to our situation by helping people who are ready to face their stupidity and get on with it and have their life be better and everybody else's and recognize that the direction things are going is not right. So again, if some evil doing is going on, you can counter that. You can work with that. You can very clearly see what that is. Somebody's about to commit a murder. It's pretty clear. I mean, they might be a stupid being too, but now they're creating an evil act. They're doing something terrible. You can counter that. But stupidity? Yes, the election was stolen. You can't tell me it wasn't. We're we're making the government more, correct because we're getting rid of all this waste, blah, blah, blah. The complexity of the experience reduced to this stupid thought. And it's convenient and it feels good. I'm part of the group. Now I belong. Stupidity, stupidity, over and over again. Now, this is not about duality again. I'm not saying that I am wise and stupid is stupid over here. We all have to pay attention in our own lives to what we are or are not in any given moment. There are plenty of opportunities for us to buy into stupidity. We're bombarded all the time. Just look at the world we live in. simple solutions to complex problems. Just do this, and you'll be all better instead of the difficulty of solving the koan. Let me lead you on a meditation. Okay, just picture a beautiful waterfall. And you're laying there by the water, and it's peaceful and calm. There's nothing to worry about anymore. You have all this light shining on your skin, and it's caressing you, blah, 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 blah. I can do that. I can lead you on a beautiful journey. I have a wonderful imagination, but that's not my job. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to personally wake up and sit with other people who are doing the same thing, waking up to the reality of how things actually are. And thank you. It's so hard, people don't want to pay attention to this. It's much easier to just push it away. That's another thing that happens. That's another form of stupidity. Let's not get involved. Let's just sit by that stream with the water gently running by.
Also, the tactics that I think, stupid people use to get other people to join in their stupidity, the fear. I hear from my really elderly, sweet parents, the criminals, it's the criminals bringing in the fentanyl and, things like that, that are just like,
Yeah,
it just makes me so sad. You know?
yeah.
It grabs people, they're afraid, and I saw some concentration camps, and one of the things that struck me the most was looking out on the beautiful hillsides and the towns beyond and thinking all those people knew that this was right here, and they saw smoke, they smelled smoke, and they knew what was going on, and they were living their little life
Yes,
in there. But
yes,
that struck me just as much as what was going on inside. You know,
yes. I hear that's,
it's to think that people can,
yeah,
watch the goldfish just die.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So what you just expressed is compassion, from an awakened sort of view, right? Taking it all in, seeing it for what it is. I think that's really a good place to live. I mean, rather than get so discouraged by what you are experiencing with the stupidity and feel demoralized, because that's kind of what they want you to feel. And so, having that compassionate view opens up to resistance. And like the kid that put the fish back in the bowl just said, no, you know, it was a compassionate thing to do, but it was also active resistance. Good and bad is measured so differently. So that's why I pointed out that this isn't about duality, because we can all live in that space where we think we're right and somebody else is wrong. This is different. This is stupidity versus reality. You see, it's not duality, this oneness of existence, this suchness of existence, this awakened mind is kind of what we're aiming at, to be able to live there or act from there rather than from duality. So it's not about living in judgment of other people. It's about seeing it for what it is. It's you see that there's a difference there. I think one leads to stupidity and one doesn't. So again, in the interview room, that would be discovered. Are you just being judgmental or are you seeing it for what it is? No, come back again. That was stupid. It's done compassionately. You see, it's not done in judgment that you're wrong and you're stupid. It's to help you see your own stupidity. It's a compassionate view. But somebody has to be willing to go into the interview room in the first place. Most people are not. That's very scary. Facing the reality of who this is. What is this? But it's so beautiful when you do. So I wish I could encourage everybody to wake up and see how wonderful it is to be an awake human being. Some of the people I admire in the world, like Martin Luther King, for example. Yes, a he was a human being, but he was also awake to the universal. And there was no way that he could describe that in terms that people would understand. But that's where he lived. And that's why he had such impact. He was coming from the universal experience of we're all in this together. And that's why it worked. All right. Anything else? No, we're good. Thank you.